Hey, how's it going? This is a open letter to Doug Bowser. How's it going, Doug? I wanted to reach out to you because I don't know exactly who I would reach out to in terms of copyright claiming videos on YouTube, as well as policy and stuff like that. But I know that your face is associated with one of the top levels at Nintendo of America, the English-speaking division of your company, and I just want to reach out to you, or at least the people responsible who can exact any sort of executive decisions to fix this issue that I'm having. Really quick, I do want to address you specifically, but I do want to just let the audience know there was a video that was recently taken down by your company. It was an Animal Crossing video, and I am pretty sure I know what that reason is, and we'll get to that in a second. But first, I just want to introduce myself. My name is Derek, also known as She Says, and I run a web series called Boundary Break. It's a show where we can take a game's camera anywhere we want to try to find secrets and new discoveries to some of our video games like Animal Crossing New Horizons. And over time, the show has evolved into a show that is more of a learning experience than anything else. Sure, it's very entertaining, but I get comments all the time from developers, game development enthusiasts about the educational value that the show seems to have. Now, it's not incredibly complex. It's not going to teach you how to make a game, but it's more of like an introductory course. And every single year, I get better and better at using correct terminology and easing people into what exactly they're looking at with real facts. So, what happened? There was a video that your company took down regarding a new game that you guys put out. It's a fantastic game, Animal Crossing New Horizons. It's actually another video that I've done. And I know why. The reason why is because you have a very strict policy over there about modification of your software, hardware, and I also understand why you have a stance against it. Now, not every game company is like this, but every game company can be different from one another. And the reason why you guys take such a strong stance against it is because it can be a very serious rabbit hole to emulation or piracy. It also can create imagery of your games that your company did not produce. And sometimes that can be very detrimental to your company image. So it can be very deceiving, in other words. And I understand all of those concerns. Those are very serious concerns, and it makes a lot of sense as to why you would enact a policy to combat against that. The thing is, my show is very, very active against teaching the audience how to do what I do. I also try not to modify the game in a way that would hurt the image of your company, and I oftentimes use this as a means to celebrate game development, to really put a shine on the talent that game developers often have. And I try to think really hard about what damage my video that the company took down could possibly provide, could possibly put against your company. And I nothing comes to mind. For example, in one of the videos regarding the same game in which the video got taken down, I make a disclaimer that promotes game sales, as well as completely disavows any intention to teach the viewer how to do these things. And I'll show that clip right now. Hey, here's a quick disclaimer. This is a brand new game from Nintendo with online components attached to it, so there's going to be no tutorials on how to do what you're going to see in this video. And this is all so that we can try to maintain some level of integrity for the online component for Animal Crossing, which is out now, by the way. Go pick it up if you haven't already. It's a great version of Animal Crossing. So it's troubling to me. It's troubling because I love Nintendo. I grew up with Nintendo. It was the very first console I ever had, and I've been a hardcore fan ever since. Here's a little clip of my game room down in the basement. It's practically a Nintendo museum. I love Nintendo, and I wouldn't be where I am today without Nintendo. It's a fact. If I didn't own a Nintendo console back in the early 90s, I probably wouldn't be providing videos on game development today. And so to have the company view me as a threat is upsetting. I mean, you have to imagine someone that you look up to, a company that you can adore, suddenly blacklisting you and becoming adversarial. It's taking down the video is a statement. The statement is, we don't like what you're doing and we want to take you down. And I just want to say that my feelings towards your company couldn't be any further from the opposite. I would love to one day meet people like Bill Trinen, Shigeru Miyamoto, anybody from the development side of Nintendo, because I admire their work, I respect what they're doing, and I want nothing more than for the company to consistently succeed and grow and provide more products for fans like myself. You may think to yourself, well, there's no value to your content. It only detracts from our net sales. Let me try to convince you the value of my show. There is literal universities using footage from my show to help aid their lectures. One of the most esteemed in our country, Harvard, recently used footage from the show to example something in regards to game development. I'll even play a clip of that right now.
That I recently found that I really like is, it's called, the name of the channel is She Says, but the actual show that they have is called Boundary Break. And what they do is they take a camera that it goes beyond what the game developers allowed it to do. So this is a, does anybody have an instinct as to why they might have done this way?
You would never see it anyway.
Exactly, and beyond that also just saving on memory, right? Like not having to load a character.
I've worked with game developers in the past, such as Yacht Club Games, Gearbox themselves. Yeah, when I did the Borderlands 2 episode, I worked directly with Gearbox. They were very happy to lend out some of their developers to answer questions. There was also a point in time in which Konami shared my videos directly on their social media. This is because all these companies understand the value of a show like mine. It's meant to be respectful, it's meant to be educational, and at the end of the day, it's nothing but good exposure for said companies. And I would very much love if me and you, or rather your company, came to an understanding about the difference between a channel like mine and the ones that you protect yourselves against. I think that really the best solution, because honestly, the expectation that you just get rid of this policy outright is maybe a little bit too high of an expectation. It exists for a reason, but maybe in the future, questions could be asked, such as, does this cause any harm? What harm does it cause? Directly, what about this video is causing any direct harm to our company? Does it tutorialize how to do what he does? Or is it just strictly entertainment? Is there educational value to it? I think those are questions that really ought to be asked within the internal services that decide to take down videos before an action like that is taken. And I implore you to look over the appeal that I will be sending out in about 2 days and see if any of those questions add up as to why it was a good decision to take down the video. Again, I love your company, Doug, or Mr. Bowser, whichever you prefer. And it's honestly my dream in life to one day meet some of those people responsible for those games on friendly terms. And, again, if this was just a huge mistake, there's forgiveness in my heart. I really have no ill will towards the company, and I certainly don't mean to create any bad press for the company. But like I said, I will be trying to repeal that decision that was made to take down my video In 2 days, I'm going to give a little bit of time for you guys to check out this video first. And, hopefully we can work this out. I don't need to hear from anybody. I understand that creates problems on its own right. But if the video does get repealed, it would mean the world to me. And again, love is not a word that I throw around very often, but I love you guys over at Nintendo. So I hope that this can work itself out. All right. Thank you.